Hi guys, welcome back to Crazy Codigo, and today I'm Jay, and I'm gonna. Today I'm Jay. Wow, no, I'm always Jay. I'm Jay, and today I'm going to talk about NumPy. So if you go on to our dev blog for Crazy Codigo, you would find this tutorial right here. Is NumPy part one. Part two will be coming out next week. So over here, we've basically talked about the NumPy module, how to import it, and how to create an array, just the basics, right? So check that out. I'll link it in the description box below. But of course, before part two comes out, I would like to give you a video tutorial as well. So let's talk about that. So the first thing you would want to do is go into command prompt, right? And you would want to install the module, which is NumPy or NumPy, if you may. So pip install NumPy. And once you do that, for me it shows requirement already satisfied because I already have this done. However, for you, if you don't have it, it will probably do a lot of download and you should get the NumPy module done. Once that's done, you can close down CMD and walk into our tutorial, right? So to demonstrate today, I am just not going to open up VS Code or anything. I'm going to stick to the idle because it's just simple to show stuff here. Alright, so the first thing that you do with any module in Python is import it. So let's import NumPy. And we'll import it as NP because just for it's convenient to type, right? The next bit is actually defining and creating the array. So let's take a variable arr and let's equal it to np.array, which will be the function that creates our array. And for now, I'm just keeping it a blank array. Let's see if this works. Run that. And there you go. It is an array. It's a null array and it has a data type of float 64. Okay. So once you do that, it's actually pretty simple, right? Now you can just put elements into this array by doing np.array. Maybe do 1, 2, 3. And then when you run it, you have an array. If you do So this is basically a one-dimensional array, right? You can see that in order to find out the shape, you can always type out arr.shape. You can do this to any array, and it will print out this, which is pretty simple, right? Because it's got 3 elements. It's an array which has 3 elements. I don't really know what this comma is for, but it is there. The next thing is probably if you wanted to create a two-dimensional array, right? You would do arr is equal to np dot array. Oh my god, sorry. Let's go into the array and let's create the rows. So we go 1, 2, 3, and we go 4, 5, 6. And I missed a bracket. There we go. And now when we print that out, it gives us a two-dimensional array. Now, there could be times when you have an n-dimensional array and you're not very sure how many dimensions there are. So again, NumPy has a very simple operation for that. You can just do arr.ndim, and when you do that, it shows you the dimension. So in this case, arr is a two-dimensional array. All right, all pretty simple so far. You right now know how to create an array, import the NumPy module, and actually get the dimension and the shape of the array. One last thing I want to show you before I leave you today is how the indexing of an array works. It's pretty simple, pretty similar to how lists work, right? You know how lists work, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3. Similarly, in arrays, you would also have times when you want to access a particular element. In such a case, you will want you want to know how the indexing works. So I have a very good diagram on the blog itself, right? And I have used the exact same array. So this is the array. Let's go in here. And as you can tell, what basically happens is if this is your rows and this is your columns. So each row is going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, n, and then each element goes 0, 1, 2. So if I wanted to reference the second element, right, if I wanted to, not the second element, if I wanted to reference 2, what I would do is I would first of all type out the array in which it is present. Then I would say I want 2, so it is in the 0th row and first column. And when I do that, it gives me the element, right? Similarly, if I did, I want first row, first column, second row, then it will give me 6. And that's it. Pretty simple. That's how indexing of elements would work, and you can access any particular element that you want to. Remember, this works the same way as matrices. So when for a matrix, if you wrote element I comma j, right, I would be the rows and j would be the columns. Same order of arguments in this case. And I want you to remember there's a huge difference between lists and arrays. For a list, you could have multiple data types present within the same list, right? You could have integers and floats and strings all present in the same. However, here to the uh, it will convert all the elements to a particular data type, and that's how it works. All right. And there is one last function that I'm going to mention, and I don't really know what you would use this function for, but it exists, so why not, right? It's called array.arr.data, and it gives you the exact memory address where the ARR is present on your computer. Again, not very sure how and why you would use this, but it is a function that exists, and maybe someday when you're doing something very advanced, you might have a use for it. So, this function exists. All right, I feel like that was a lot of information to take in, so I am going to leave this tutorial here. I will do a part 2, part 3, depending on how many we need in the next few weeks that are coming. And the dev blog with the part 2 will be out next week for sure. Also, we have a Discord server. Please join it. Link in description. That is all. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.